Hey friends, it's Jess from Team Jasper. I'm here to demo Corvids, our most recently released game, and I did my nails for the occasion. Hope you like them. Burbs and feathers. Awesome. I'm going to take you through the rules, show you a few sample turns, and give you a few strategies to make this a fun game of trash and treasure. Let's have fun together. We're going to set up our mat first. This is the trash bag from which we will be picking from. Notice the nests on the border. I will explain those later. This is the most chaotic shuffle you will ever do. Gonna mess it up. You are going to make sure that you at least cover the nests so that everyone playing has a fair shot. There are 8 bird names total, so you also want to make sure all the names at the very least are exposed, which this is true. Nests are protected, but we still see the names. Next, I'm going to take my feathers and scatter them about. And you want to make sure at least they are starting on a few cards, as we will later discuss what happens when a card or feather is abandoned or by itself. I'm going to be simulating a 2-player game, so I'm going to, at random, pick 2 bird cards here. So here we go, let's pick this one. It's going to be mine. And this will be our AI player right here. Now I'm going to share with you what my card is. Let's just keep this a secret between us. I am going to play the Choff. And I have a special goal here for endgame purposes. I must collect 2 points for each card type that I only have 1 of. Now remember, this is a secret, so since my nest is not uncovered yet, I'm going to keep him hidden for now. And now we can go into what a turn looks like. A player's turn consists of peck, pick, and resolve. Now for pecking, I'm going to take a visible card by the corner and flip it. A flip can be fast or slow, your preference. So let's see here. I'm very interested in knowing what is on this card that has the logo on it, so I'm going to take it and flip it like that. And this is a totally legal move. There are times where you can flip and a bunch of cards might flip over. That's fine. Your peck can be very strategic. When pecking, a chosen card might have feathers on it, so feathers might move. This is totally fine. Next, I will pick a card. A card can be only picked if it is totally uncovered. Now, it can't be covered by other cards, but it's okay if a feather is touching it. So since this feather is touching this card, I can take it. Now I don't have to pick it with my beak. I'm just gonna pick it with my fingers. I have to also make sure that no other players see what I have picked. And I'm going to take this feather since it was touching it. I'll explain what feathers do later. I am allowed to look at my own card and keep it hidden from other players. I received a key. So a set of 2 is worth 5 points. So now I'm going to want to work to get another key. I can now choose to resolve, which again is the only optional part of a turn. At this point, I can't steal anything, and the card I picked didn't really have an effect, so there's not much I can do. All I have is 1 feather so far. You need 2 feathers to be able to steal. I mean, first of all, they must have any cards to steal. Their nest must be exposed. I still don't even know what bird this is. For instance, if we're flipping and playing and eventually if my Choff nest were to become exposed, he could be stolen from. And just for clarification, this is what a covered nest looks like versus an uncovered nest. So as you can see, it can be just covering the outside circle here. And if it's not covering the outside circle, it is considered uncovered and no longer protected, so you can steal from it. I am now going to play as my AI person here. We'll call them Jasper. Jasper is now going to take a turn. And they get to, do you remember? Peck, pick, resolve. So first they're going to peck. Now here, this little corner right here is exposed. As long as the corner is exposed, I can now do a flip, which revealed a lot of cards. This card is not technically off the mat and is touching other cards, so it is a legal move. Now, Jasper is going to pick. Now, Jasper can't pick this one, and I'll tell you why. At the end of my turn, Jess's turn, what I was supposed to do is remove this because it was not touching any other cards, so this cannot be picked anymore. At the end of my turn, at my resolution, it actually should have been removed. So always check for any feathers or cards that aren't touching. All right, now Jasper is going to pick. What do you want, Jasper? So I think Jasper is going to want to make sure that he gets plenty of feathers. What's nice is that this was flipped onto 2 feathers and was touching it. So Jasper gets to take 2 feathers. Let's see what Jasper got. 1 point each. Turn face up at the start of your turn to steal. Now, unfortunately for Jasper, but fortunately for me, Jasper can't use this action because they did not collect the card face down. So as you can see, it says turn face up at the start of your turn to steal. It's worthless for its action, but it's still, you can still get the point value. So Jasper's going to keep it for the point value. At this point, we resolve. Jasper cannot steal yet. Yes, they have 2 feathers, but my nest is not exposed yet, so we're both safe. We must check for any cards or feathers that are alone. Nothing's off the mat. Okay, we're good for another turn. I'm going to be really chaotic for my next turn. I suspect that Jasper might be the J, so I want to expose their nest and make them vulnerable to steals. So I'm just going to really quickly take this card right here and flip it. Now, unfortunately, I got a feather off the mat because I was too chaotic of a bird, and at this point in discomfort, the rest of the players could go caw, caw, because I did something naughty. I am now going to miss the rest of my turn, and all these are now touching the table, as well as this one, so they get to go away. Earlier you noticed I did not remove a card. It was more or less hovering. I made a weird call. I would talk to the people playing around you what counts as hovering and what counts as touching. But yeah, the rest of my turn is now over. However, as you can... and see, I didn't even do a good job at exposing the J. So as you can see, chaos doesn't really pay off. Dang. I am now going to play as Jasper here. Another thing that might make players go caw caw is if a player touches a token by accident and makes choices that interfere with your plan. So let's say I really wanted that thing, and you know, we know friends might have shaky hands. We're not going to hold that against them. So like maybe I'm going to pick up this card and like I accidentally nudged that. I mean, I'm nice, so I'm not going to say that's illegal. I'll just let them continue during doing their motion, but I might go caw caw because I didn't like that feather got moved. So Jasper, you know, people got shaky hands. It's fine. No worries. I think Jasper really wants to make sure they're protecting that J, which makes me more suspicious. And now we're going to look for an unexposed card here. I think Jasper sees all these delightful little feathers here. Currently, how many is it touching? Touching 2. So we're going to take the 2 feathers here. Remember, I don't have to pick with my tweezers. I can just pick with my hands. All right. So I obviously can't look as Jess, but I'm going to pretend to look as Jasper. Let's see what Jasper got. 1 point each. A set of 3 is instead worth 7 points. Now, they are going to keep this covered, even though it doesn't have an action. They can now secretly get a button combo without letting me know. Jasper now has 4 feathers, which means they could steal twice from me if the choff was exposed, which it is not. It is now my turn again. I'm going to try to peck a little more kindly this time. See, that was a lot nicer. Now I have a few choices here. I could pick this coin here. I'm definitely going to go with the paper clip here, which means I'm able to take this since it was touching, and this card. This is 1 point each. Now this card is secret to Jasper, but we're gonna see. Oh, a ticket. So if you remember earlier, Jasper got a ticket and was able to use it. I might be able to steal from him later. So unfortunately, that was just a very poor flip on my part, but that's okay. I'm going to take this nut here and the feather that it was touching. Ooh, and I get to take 2 more. At last, I have flipped over the J. All right, so what I must do first is I must take my card. I'm going to take this one. So here we have a nut. A nut allows you to take 2 feathers after taking this card. So even though I only have 1 feather here, it means I can take 2 additional feathers somewhere else on the board. That would be really cool too. Let's take a look at this paper clip here. A paper clip means I can take another card, even covered, touching this card. I like that. Now here are some of the other card effects that you will find in the game. We have earrings. You've met the nut already. You've met the paper clip. You've met the ticket. This is a little piece of string. You can turn face up at any time to block a steal, which is really nice. And this is if someone tries to use the ticket, you can block their steal, or if they try to just use their regular 2 feathers steal, you can use the string to block. And I will show you what that looks like in real time in a little bit. With acorns, you can peck again after taking that card. Bottle caps are simply worth 2 points. Buttons, a set of 3 is instead worth 7 points. Keys, a set of 2 is instead worth 5 points. And a coin, this is worth 3 points if face down. So you can strategize in different ways to make sure cards are face up or face down. These 2 cards are only effective if they are found face down. This one is only worth the triple point value if it is found face down. So these are very important to remember about these particular single-sided cards. When you take a double-sided card, it has to be what it was face up. So this is technically a key, not an earring. This is worth 3 points face down, so I'm going to obviously keep it face down. And now that I have exposed the J, Jasper must flip his card and has now remained flipped for the rest of the game. At last, I have flipped over the J. What I must do first is I must take my card. I'm going to take this one. So now I must steal. Hee hee hee. I have 2 feathers, which I am going to put back on the pile. Anywhere, just toss them. And let's see. I get to take whatever card I want, and Jasper has no string to block me. So I'm going to take this one. What did I get? Sweet, I got a coin. And I did take it from him face down, so that'll be worth 3 points. Woohoo! As you can see, our pile is shrinking. I'm taking an earring. Remember, when you take an earring, you can now take another uncovered earring after taking this card. And this one was uncovered. Good for me. Now these two are alone. So see, it's picking up. It's almost over. Jasper's final turn here. Okay. Take 2 feathers. There are no more feathers on the board. So they just get the point for this. And this card is alone and gets discarded. And that's it. That's the game. If at any point I had stolen a face down card from Jasper, for instance, had I stolen this coin earlier, it still would have been worth its 3-point value. Same if Jasper had stolen from me, as long as it was face down when it was taken. Like you can't take a card face up and then turn it face down on your pile. That doesn't work. All right, now we are ready to score. I recommend doing your end game bird points after you've done all your other stuff. So I have a point, 2 points, a point, another point, 2 points, and 2 points here, 2 points here. Okay. That gives me 16 points altogether. So I have a point. I have 3 earrings, so that's 3 points. So then another point, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, and a point. Oh, but it's 3 points because it was face down. So that all in all is 16. And then I get 2 points each for each card type that I only have 1 of. So that is, I believe, 5 of my cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. 10 plus 16 is 26. My ending score is 26. Let's take a look at Jasper's cards. So Jasper had a set of 3 buttons, which gives Jasper a total of 7 points. Wonderful for Jasper. They get 3 points each for having 3 nuts here. An additional point for the acorn, point for the key, point for string, point for paperclip, and 2 points for their tickets that they ended up not using, but they are still worth points. And just a reminder, you can't use tickets unless they are face down at the beginning of your turn. And they also have a coin here. I can't grab things with these nails. They also have a coin here, much like I did. It's worth 3 points because it was face down. And they get a point for each paperclip and string. So before adding up the J points, Jasper has 18 points, and they have 1 paperclip and 1 string. Gave them 2 points, total of 20. It is Jess 26, Jasper 20. I beat Jasper. Thank you all so much for watching this how to play of Corvids. Again, I'm Jess. I'm a co-designer at DVC Games. We welcome you to keep watching more How to Plays from Team Jasper. I'm signing off. Please remember you can always check out more of our games at dvc.games. You can also check us out on Facebook or Instagram or Bluesky. Happy trails!